I got a message from one of us here, and I hope the person is with us right now. I hope the person is live. Please, whoever that sent me that text message, whoever that chatted me up, I hope you are live, because what you told me of is actually what I wanted to teach us today. And I thank God you brought up that topic. Okay. So I want you to join us. In case you haven't joined us, please, if you are watching me, I want you to join us so that you will learn more about this. Because today we are going to be discussing about the side effects of living in a haunted house, or having your business premises haunted area. Majority of us know nothing about haunted house or haunted houses. Majority of us believe that there is nothing like spirits, that they don't exist, that when someone die, you are dead and gone. You no longer come out. Yeah, it's true. But for someone to die and not to come out any longer, you don't see the person anymore. These are the people that lived that life worthy of emulation. They have fought their fight. They are not coming out for anything. The ones that are coming out most of the times, not all of them, are the evil spirits. And they are just coming out to torment the living. The evil spirits are the ones coming out to torment the living. And these are the people that died untimely. They left this world so early, not actually their time. Either the people who were murdered, or the people who died during any like motor accidents or fire accidents. These are the people that torment others. Or like if it's in a hospital, a lot of people die as a result of the hospital's negligence or out of carelessness. And being a hospital, so many people die on a daily basis. So today we are going to be talking about the side effects that the livings always have whenever you come in contact with these demons. I call them demons because for someone who has died to come up to start tormenting the living, you are now a demon. So I'm going to be talking about the side effects. And for those who do not believe that there is something called spirit, the spiritual is greater than the physical. Whatever that is happening in the spiritual realm is far greater and bigger than what we are seeing with our physical eyes. So for you, because you are not seeing them, doesn't mean that they are not existing. They are existing. Forget about all these teachings. Yes, the teachings as Christians that we are. Nobody will teach you that spirits exist because they don't want you to know about that. But if you have your spiritual eyes open, God is going to reveal so many things to you. It is now left for you to choose the one that you want to believe in. He's going to reveal a lot to you. There are so much happening in the spiritual realm which the ordinary eyes cannot see. It won't even come into your mind. You can't even think of it. Okay? Now, when we talk about living in haunted houses, this is one of the mistakes that people make. Leo, good evening. Leo Sonny, you are welcome. Thank you for joining us. Living in a haunted house is one of the mistakes we make, we humans. We don't ask questions. You are desperate. You are in need of a house. I'm fine, Leo. Thank you so much. God bless you for asking. Thank you. Before you moving into any house, no matter how beautiful that house is, even if that house was just completed yesterday, that is, you witnessed the workers constructing the house, building it, you watch them from laying the foundation to the rooftop. Before you move into this house, because you have seen them build the house, before you move into the house, ask questions about the house spiritually. Ask questions concerning that house spiritually. A lot of things go behind the ordinary human eyes before some houses are constructed. So many evil things go behind which you don't know of. There are so many people who are wealthy. I'm not saying all of them. We have so many wealthy people who will want to go into building, to build houses, to rent houses out. I always ask about the landlord of that house. Who is the owner of that house? And I will check you spiritually to know if you are spiritually clean. Because if those people are not spiritually clean, especially when they belong to all these occultic groups, all these, belonging to one occultic group or another, before they lay the foundation of any building, they must perform certain sacrifices. You can never be aware of that sacrifice. You will never witness them doing that. They do that in their kingdom, in their gathering, their coven. That is what they do there. And after that, they will come back to that land where they want to build houses, and then they will perform the final rite. That final rite can mean burying just a little item like this. They will bury that item there before the foundation of that building is being laid. And then when you move in, as someone who rented that place, you move in. At first, you will not experience anything. You will just be living your normal life. But as time goes on, if you happen to be this prayerful person, that is when you will start having problems. Haunted houses do not want anybody. That is, all these demons that are possessing those haunted houses, they don't like coming in contact with people who pray a lot. If you are this type that doesn't pray, you don't know how to pray, you don't want to pray, you don't see prayer as anything, when you're moving into a haunted house, they might not attack you. The only thing is that you will never go forward in life. You remain where you are. But they will not tamper with your life. They will not tamper with your health. But it's just that you will not move forward. But when you are this prayerful type and you're moving into a haunted house, be rest assured that you will face spiritual attack every now and then. They will try to tamper with your life. They will try to tamper with your health. They will block all avenues for you. They will so deal with you. So before you're moving into any building, unless you are the one building that house, and after building it, you move in, no problem. But if you are going to rent any apartment, flat, whatever it is, bungalow, ask questions. That you watch the workers building the house is not a criteria that that place is neat spiritually. Some houses are built under a dirty foundation, a very ugly foundation. It's just like the Orthodox churches. When I mean Orthodox churches, I mean Catholic Church, Anglican Church, Methodist. These churches, as of old, where we have all these churches, as far back as before our grandparents were born, the lands that were given to these churches were kind of burial ground, cemetery, evil forest. That is the land that were given to these churches because the lands were considered as a waste. No ordinary human being can go and build any house there and live in it because they know what is in that land. If you try it, you might go down. And so what the ancestors did was to give out the land to churches. Let them build their church there. But when they build the churches there and they start calling on the name of Almighty God, God's power is greater than any power. God will suppress whatever spirits that is disturbing on that land. But then, that is why it is not advisable for you to sleep inside the church. It is not advisable for you to sleep inside the church. You may think that the church is a holy place that no demon can enter. You are wrong. You are very wrong. Church doesn't that this church is mighty and is large and is beautiful doesn't mean that demons cannot come in. They can come in. They can come in, they can sit down, they can do whatever they want. The only time they will vanish is when the prayer starts. That is when they will vanish. So if you are moving into any house, or you are renting an apartment, you are renting a room or 2 rooms or whatever for your business premises, please ask questions. There are so many of us who have their business premises, built on top of someone's blood. When I mean someone's blood, I mean human sacrifices were performed before such structures were raised. And then you rented a room from there. You started your business there. Watch yourself. 5 years, 10 years, you will be the one to go out and scout for people that will come to patronize you. If you don't go out to scout, nobody will come in. Why? Because those demons are still alive. They are not dead. They are still alive. It is just that you are not seeing them because you don't have that spiritual eyes. Those demons will be there to monitor you 24 hours every day to make sure that nobody crosses there to patronize you. That is their job. And the reason why it is so is because you are kind of disturbing them. If someone's blood was shed and then a structure was raised there, but you didn't do anything to appease the dead, there is nothing you will do on that land for you to succeed. You will never succeed because that blood is still crying. It's still seeking for vengeance. And when this blood are seeking for vengeance, they turn to become demons. You are not the one that dealt with them when they were alive. You didn't know what happened to them. You are not even aware of what happened. But because you are in that house, you will partake in that punishment. They will so deal with you. I know of someone who sells, she's a boutique owner. She sells wonderful wares, ladies, very beautiful wares. She happened to be my friend. The day we met in the church after church service, she begged me to visit her shop. That she's selling UK, she's selling US, she's selling Turkey, that I should stop patronizing whoever I'm patronizing and start patronizing her. And I accepted to go to pay her a visit. And the very first day I entered her shop, walking into that shop, I had goosebumps all over my body. And whenever I feel that way, I know that there is the presence of demon, evil spirit around. But I didn't say anything. I just walked into her shop. A very nice boutique. But when you get into that shop, you won't have the zeal. You won't even want to touch any clothes. You won't want to look at anything. The only thing in your mind will be to leave. Because that was what the feeling I had. And she noticed it. She told me that she noticed that I don't want to touch anything. I told her, you have beautiful things, but I'm too tired to touch them. I just stayed a little bit. A friend of hers walked in to buy clothes. And the lady sat down to pick up any clothes to check and see if she will buy. She told her that she doesn't have the strength to check any clothes. The lady left before me. Just for it not to look like I don't want to patronize her, I had to buy just one thing from her. I bought one thing and paid. And that was the first time and the last time I entered there. And for every shop in that building, nobody comes in any of those shops belonging to other people. Nobody walks in, nobody goes out, except those who are selling. And so one day she had to meet me and ask me that she decided to ask questions about the building. And she got the answer that the landlord used the elder brother as a human ritual or whatever, and built that land, wherever that thing that happened, built the structure there and rented it out. A supermarket was there. The supermarket had to shut down. Nobody goes in there. A shop that is at a strategic position that you cannot pass it by. You must walk in, but nobody walks in. The supermarket had to close. My friend had to close. The people selling Alomako had to close. Everybody, that building is just like that now. Nobody is renting out any shop, because if you rent a shop there, within 3 months, you will fold and come out. And it's because we don't ask questions on time. We don't ask questions. You are in a haste. You want to move into a house. No matter what is happening, ask questions. If you're moving into a haunted house, you will regret it for the rest of your life. In the first place, when you're moving into a haunted house, you will think you have arrived, because the demons will remain calm to watch you, to monitor you. They will allow you to exercise your power, that right you have as a human being, to watch and see the source of your income, because that is their major target. Once they notice that source of your income, they go there and block it. And what are you going to do when you are experiencing something like this? That is the reason why I am making this video. So many of us are making the greatest mistakes of their lives. You are living in a haunted house. You have your shop in a haunted house. You are not seeing the spirits, but you are experiencing their havoc in your life. You are feeling it. And then you believe that you can pray them down in their home, in their own home, because that place is their home. You are the one looking for trouble, and you cannot pray them down in their home. My advice is to move out. My advice is to move out from that premises. I want to tell you people, I have lived in a haunted house for 11 good years. Yes, when I was growing up as a little girl, we moved into a haunted house without knowing that the house was haunted. But then I was in like primary 2 or primary 3 at that time. But I noticed something on the very first day we were moving into the house, bringing in our goods inside the house, our luggages. Something happened, and it happened to me. It happened to me and my younger sister. As little as we were bringing in all our clothes, all our bags, our mattresses. We carried a mattress inside that house. On getting into the house, because it's an upstairs, we climbed upstairs. We got into the house. We wanted to enter into the children's room to drop the mattress there. And all of a sudden, the mattress turned into a human hand and was strangling both of us. It sounds like a movie. Sounds so unreal. The mattress turned into a human hand and started strangling both of us. To the extent that when we lay down on the floor, we kept on shouting, calling for help. Nobody heard us. It kept us strangling us. We were at the point of maybe passing out when my elder brother walked in. The moment my elder brother walked in, it turned into a mattress immediately. It turned into a mattress immediately. And my elder brother had to lift it up and ask us what we were doing there. We told him, both of us, I and my younger sister, that the mattress was strangling us. My brother got mad. He thought we were just playing around, using the mattress to play. He got mad and started flogging us. But we know what we saw. We knew what we saw. So after flogging us, we cried, and that was it. And then everything started unfolding on a daily basis. It got to a point that we started seeing them live. When I mean live, I mean seeing those spirits like you are looking at your fellow human being one-on-one. That is why whenever I see people making blind arguments that there is nothing like spirits, they don't exist, I laugh at them. I laugh at them. It got to a point that we started seeing them live. You will see somebody coming close to you. Before the person gets to you, the person will vanish, will disappear before you. You'll be knocking at the door and somebody will open the door, and then you walk in and there is nobody inside the house, but somebody opened the door for you. You want to go into the bedroom to bathe, and you notice that somebody is bathing, and you think it's your sister or your brother that is bathing. And after some time, you decide to open the door to hurry the person up. You notice that the bedroom is dry. Meanwhile, you were hearing the voices of someone taking his or her shower, making noise. You open the bedroom door, and the bedroom is dry. There was nobody there. If you move into a haunted house, you will experience so many things. What are you going to experience? First of all, if you are an adult who is working or into business or whatever you are doing to make ends meet, before you know it, 2-3 years into whatever you are doing, you will start shutting down everything. If you are a trader, you will no longer see your gain. You will no longer see your capital. You won't even have the transport fare that will transport you to your business premises. If you are a worker, a civil servant, you will start having problems in your place of work. You will keep on having from one problem to another. Before you know it, you may go for promotion exam, you will not be promoted. If there is anything like retrenchment, your name will be amongst those that will be retrenched for no reason. Living in a haunted house is just like someone signing his or her own death warrant. You need to ask questions. It's not all about living there, even your business premises. You need to ask questions so that you don't waste that money. You struggle to get that money for you to venture into business, but you didn't ask question, and then you rented a haunted apartment. That apartment will drain all your income, your finances is going to drain everything. And if care is not taken, you will walk out from there empty-handed. You will walk out empty. You will start from square zero. You will start from the scratch again. So the best thing is for people to learn how to ask questions. It's not just all about, because if you ask any landlord about his or her building, of course, everybody will tell you that Angel Michael was there when they were building it. After building it, all the angels were there to commission the building. Nobody will tell you that his or her house is haunted. All you need to do is to ask spiritual questions. It's not just all about physical questions. Go spiritual. Ask about these buildings. Find people who are spiritually gifted, who are very prayerful. Take them to that house and ask them questions about that building. And you will get the answer that you want. If the building is spiritually clean, they will tell you. If it's not spiritually clean, that's a red flag. You leave immediately. There's no sentiment. Even if that building is owned by your brother or your sister. Once that building is not spiritually clean, please don't go into there. For those who are living in haunted houses, for you to survive in a haunted house, you have to be prayerful. There is no two ways about it. You have to be very prayerful. I know that there are certain things that you can do to minimize their havoc, not stopping it entirely. Not stopping it entirely. There are certain things you can do when you are living inside a haunted house to minimize the havocs that the demons are causing. Now, one of those things are try and have an anointing, a blessed anointing oil. Try and have a blessed anointing oil. Make sure you don't lack that oil. It is very necessary that you have it. So that for each time you will walk into that house, because if you're a trader, if you're a civil servant, if you're a student, every day, of course, you will have to go out. When you are coming in, you anoint the entrance of that's your house before you walk into the house. Then another thing I will want you to have is holy water. And I've noticed that some churches are selling holy water. Holy water is not what you're supposed to buy. You don't sell holy water. You don't sell anything water. Water is a free gift. You are not supposed to sell it. Water is there for everybody. If you need holy water, if you go to Catholic Church, nobody will ask you to bring kobo for holy water. All you need to do is to get your water, get your salt. The priest will bless it for you, mix both of them together and give it to you. Holy water is one of the weapons that drives them away. Although it will drive them away so that they will not harm you, so that they will not come near you. And the reason why it's like this is so that you will have the time to gather yourselves together and leave that house. You must leave that house for you to forge ahead in life, for you to succeed in life, for you to make it in life. If you insist on leaving the house, you will not die. They will not harm you as long as you are using these sacramentals. But for you to progress in life is a lie, is a big lie. And for peace of mind, you will not have it. You will not have that peace of mind. If they cannot get you, if they cannot torment you spiritually because you are powerful, they will go down to your children if you have children. They will go down to them. And the worst thing is they can possess any of your child. And that is the worst thing that can happen to anybody when your child is possessed by a demon. Deliverance is not an easy thing. Deliverance is not something you go to church and they say that they have prayed and they have delivered. Deliverance is very difficult. It is very difficult. If you are living in a haunted house and you have one of your children possessed, and then you attend the deliverance program, and the child is delivered. Meanwhile, you are still living inside that house. You will get back to that house to meet the demons, and they will still possess that child. The best thing is to leave that house, leave that building. If it's your shop, your business premises, leave it as long as you are not the one that built it. If it is your rented apartment where you live, move out. Move out so that you will go ahead in life. Let me tell us, you see this God that we worship, he's a God of justice. Our God is a God of justice. There are so many souls whose life has been wasted, whose blood has been shed to erect such structures. And those souls will keep on crying unto God. Whenever they see any human being coming to dwell in that house, they will cry unto God. And our God is equally a God of vengeance. As long as those souls are crying unto him, he will remain calm. He will not allow those souls to harm you, but he will want you to move out of that place. You cannot visit the devil in his kingdom and start fighting the devil. You will not win that battle. Nobody does that and wins. Nobody. You don't visit the devil in his territory and start fighting him. He knows every nook and crannies of that territory. He will win you. But when you are on your own and the devil visits you, you will win that battle. You will win the battle. Now, for people who are living in haunted houses or who rented a shop on an ugly foundation, you are just like someone who is looking for trouble. There's no two ways about it. You are just looking for their trouble. No matter how prayerful you are, no matter how spiritually strong you are looking for their trouble, and they will keep on tormenting you. I remember before I answered my call, we were living in a 3-bedroom flat somewhere in Owerri here, and that's a rented apartment. The first night we slept in that house, the first night, I will call it the owner of the house. But meanwhile, the owner of the house died while I was still in school. I heard about him. That was when he died, when I was still a young girl in school. But when we moved into that house, the first night we slept, I saw the man. The man walked up to me in my dream and told me that he doesn't want my trouble, that he doesn't want me to live in his house, that his house is there for other people and not for me, and that the best thing I can do is for me to pack my luggages, take my family out of his house. If not, that he's going to fight me to the last. And I woke up. This was in 2007. I woke up and called my husband and told him, this is what I saw. And he doubted it. He told me that maybe I watched a horror movie. I don't watch horror movies, due to my gift. I don't like watching horror movies at all, because I don't want to have that thing in my memory. If I want to fight a demon, let me fight you, but not watching you on telly or something like that. My husband didn't believe me, and we kept on living. And every night, this man will keep on coming to me, asking me to take my family away. If not, that he's going to harm us. I kept on disturbing my husband. He refused. So what I did was I kept on praying, using sacramentals, anointing oil. I had so many bottles of anointing oil in my house. I had holy water in gallons. I prayed like a mad person, morning, afternoon, night. I wasn't working then because I was still giving birth. And this thing kept on. This demon kept on tormenting us. It got to a point that this one no longer, it didn't happen in a dream. It happened in reality. My children went to school, and I came back at home just to tidy up the house before going out. After doing the house chores, I got so tired. I sat down on the settee and slept off. In the afternoon, the next thing I saw was the man walked in, telling me while I was sleeping that I should warn my husband, take my children, leave his house, that is going to harm us. And I watched him, went inside one of our rooms, packed rubbishes. I will call them rubbish, dirty things. He packed all of them, his luggages. He packed them and was moving out and told me that he's taking some of his things, that he's coming back, and that when he comes back and still meet us there, that he's going to deal with us. So when I saw this, I woke up immediately. Lo and behold, I saw that man passed before me. This time around, no longer in the dream, but in reality. Before he gets to the front door, the door will open. Before he gets to the final door, that door will open. And he vanished. Out of fear, I didn't have the courage to shut the doors. I just ran inside the room, shut the door of the room, left every other door open. When I went inside the room, I started praying. And after some time, I heard my neighbor calling me, telling me that our doors are open. Why did I leave the doors open? So because I heard the neighbor's voice, I had to come out and shut the door. And what did I do? I have noticed that my husband is a very stubborn man. I went down on my knees. I kept on praying and I told God that I want him to throw us out from that building. Because if I should leave my husband to decide, he will never decide. I told God that I want him, God, to throw us out from that building. And God heard my prayers. Every business started shutting down. My husband's business started shutting down. Everything started going down. It got to a point that we find it difficult to eat. We find it difficult to eat. I started borrowing. I started begging from my sisters. They started donating. And at a point, my husband got frustrated. And then he had to start putting up 1 or 2 blocks on our land and completed it to a certain level. And then we moved in. While we were living in that haunted house, we were like paupers, beggars. We don't have anything at all. All our cars got grounded. We had to sell all of them, leaving only 1 car. Even that 1 car that was left was just like a scrap. But when you move out from the haunted house, that is when you will know if God knows how to bless people. Yes. When you move out from that haunted house, those demons will no longer have grip over you. They will no longer torment you because they don't have any business with you. You don't know what happened to them. But while you are still inside that house, they will deal with you to the last. They don't care if you know anything about them. I have told us this thing before. Spirits have no emotion, no feelings. Feelings and emotions are for human beings who have flesh and blood, who have blood running in their veins. It is because of that blood that we have feelings and emotions. Spirits, no matter the good or the bad one, whatever, they don't have feelings and emotions. They don't have it. Whatever you are passing through is none of their business. What they want is what they want, not what you want. So to fight with demons in their territory is not an easy fight. It's not you can fight that battle for 10, 20, 30 years. So the best thing for you to do is to leave that house. But before you leave the house, you will find it difficult leaving that house because they will block all avenues for you. Forever coming into their territory in the first place, they will block all avenues for you so that they will harm you because that is their mission. They want you to join them. And they will do everything possible for you to join them. Now, what you are going to do is to get all these sacramentals that I just mentioned. Please, make sure you have anointing oil. Make sure you have holy water. Make sure you have incense. You see this incense? If you are using incense, you will know how powerful incense is. The incense you use in churches. You will know how powerful incense is. That smoke from incense drives them away. It can drive them away for like days and they will not torment you for days. Because that smoke will keep on lingering. You may no longer perceive it the following day, but it will keep on lingering. And there, because they are spirits, they'll be perceiving it. Make sure you have incense, holy water, anointing oil. For every other spiritual products, they will not perform all that you want it to perform for you. Yes, because some of those spiritual products are actually to attract good luck to yourself. And it is not something that you can use to drive evil forces away. Something like cinnamon powder. You don't use cinnamon powder to drive evil forces away. You use it to attract good luck. And when you use cinnamon powder inside a haunted house, it cannot attract that good luck because those spirits are there to suppress the work of that cinnamon powder. using what do you call it, burning a bay leaf, the back of garlic, is to attract good luck. That is the work of all these things, to attract good luck for you, but not to drive demons away. So when you are living in such buildings, or you have your shop rented out in such structures, burning all those things will not drive those forces away. It will not do anything for you. It's just a waste of time. You are burning those things to clear your path so that your favor, your good luck will visit you. But you are dwelling on a land built under an ugly foundation. So it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So the best thing for you is to get these items that the demons are scared of. Get these items. The holy water. Don't buy holy water, please. If you go to any church and they tell you that they're selling holy water, please don't buy. Don't buy. Holy water is not supposed to be sold. It's free of charge. Water is free for everybody. You didn't pay to get that water. You didn't, why should you pay to buy holy water? Take your water, take your salt, meet any priest. Let the priest bless it for you. It is very powerful. Try and get anointing oil. You can buy your oil and give it to a priest and let the priest bless it for you. And then you buy incense. Whether they bless the incense or not, the smoke of that incense performs wonders. Use these 3 items together with your constant prayer to drive these forces away. Like I told us, if they cannot harm you, they cannot get you, they can't bring you down, they can't kill you, they can't tamper with your health, they will tamper with your finances. That is their final bus stop. They will tamper with your finances. You start living from hand to mouth. So I want you to check yourself. If you are watching me now, if you are listening to what I'm teaching, I want you to check yourself. If you are experiencing any of these things, maybe whenever you are in your house, you feel that someone is around. You are all alone in the house, but you feel that you are still with someone you are not seeing. If you are always scared whenever you notice the presence of that being, if you are always scared, know that that being is not of God. That is a demon. Because the being that God will send, the spirit that God will send will come to suppress your fear. When they come, they will suppress your fear. You will no longer be scared. And whenever these angels or these divine heavenly beings visits you, you will feel a warm temperature, a normal room temperature, so that you be calm. But when these demons are present, you will feel like maybe someone left the refrigerator open and you start feeling the breeze from the refrigerator. Or you may think that there is an air condition that has been switched on and you start feeling that cold. You will feel cold a bit. Whenever you feel this way, and on top of that, you are too scared. You are in your house in the afternoon. I'm not talking about night. You are in your house in the afternoon, but you are so scared that you can't even sleep alone in the afternoon. You want to go out from your house, hang around and wait until others come back. Whenever you start feeling this way, know that house, that there is a demon, a spirit that is not supposed to be there. That is why you are feeling that way. Or maybe you start noticing strange things happening in your house. Your properties will start, going bad. Or how do I put it? It will look as if someone is destroying your properties. You may buy a refrigerator today, something that is brand new, something that is working. After 1 week, it will blow. And you call it malfunction. You call it electrical fault. You repair it. You buy air conditioner. 2 weeks after, it will stop working. You call it malfunction. You buy gas. 1 week after, it will blow. You call it malfunction. Every now and then you are buying one thing or the other and they keep on destroying. If you are experiencing this thing, the foundation of that house is not clean. These are the signs. These are the signs that the demons will be giving you. They are doing all those things to frustrate you so that you will leave. And whenever they are doing those things, you are wasting your money because you keep on repairing, keep on buying something you've bought before, you go and buy another one, and they will keep on destroying it. These are the signs that they are giving. Another thing is constant sickness. Constant sickness. Every now and then you are sick. You will go to hospital, you go for test. They will tell you you have malaria. They will tell you you have typhoid. They will tell you you have hay fever, this, that. They will keep on treating all those things. Next month, you will go back for the same sickness. Another month, you will go back for the same sickness. Please check the building where you are living. Even though I know that sickness can come not just about that building, I know that it can, maybe the hospital you are going is not all that equipped, or the doctors are not well trained, or it can be as a result of a diabolical power somewhere from your fellow human being, but whereby you say you don't have anybody who is against you, and the hospital you are going is a reputable hospital that can handle your case when it comes to health issue. If it is not any of these things, check the building where you are. Okay? Check the building. And if you start noticing that your friends are kind of deserting you, you visit your friends, but they don't like coming to your house. Even when they come, they will complain. When people come to your house, they will complain. They will later tell you, guy, I don't really like this place. I don't really like this. When people start behaving that way, they may not tell you because they themselves will not know what is actually happening, but that spirit in them is rejecting that demon inside your house. And that is why they are feeling that way. But I know a lot of us will take it that our friends are looking down on us. It is not them that is doing. It is because the spirit in them is actually working against that demon in your house or in your shop. So I want you to check yourself very well. If it's still early, please, because as long as you're alive, it is still early. Leave that house. That is the only option. If anybody is telling you that when you pray from January to December, you will conquer the demons, my question is it on that land, in that building, where the blood was shed, where the foundation was raised, is it on that building that you will conquer those demons? It's not possible. You can't fight them in their house and win that battle. They have already occupied that place. Such buildings, from what I have seen so far, when it gets to that point that those buildings are being haunted, or the people who live in such buildings do experience havoc every now and then, the best thing is to bring down such buildings. And I've seen people do it. They raise down such buildings, raise it just like a normal floor, because it's of no use leaving the structure there. Nobody will go in, nobody will move in, nobody will occupy it. It's of no use. The best thing is to bring it down. Yes, to bring it down. So I want you to check yourself, check your environment. If there is anything weird you are experiencing, meanwhile you are not called, because I know that people who are called do experience weird things. Yes. If I am in my room now and a spirit walks in, I know which spirit walks in. Sometimes when I'm sleeping, I will be deep in slumber, but I will know when an evil spirit has entered my room. Because once that evil spirit comes in, my guardian angel will wake me up immediately. He must wake me up to pray. But when my guardian angel visits, or there is a good spirit that visits, I'll remain calm wherever I am. I will continue with my sleep. So please, there is enough time for us to make things right. Okay? You are living in a haunted house and you've been praying. Every day of your life, you've been fasting. You've been having midnight prayers. You've been performing spiritual exercises. But everything is still not going well for you. Move out. Leave that house for them. There are so many clean houses. So many houses built with at least the fear of God. Move out from that house so that you have your life, you have your good health, and then you succeed. So many of us have these potentials. God has already blessed us that you will never lack money. Whatsoever you do, you will prosper, and you will see it in you. You will know that if I do this thing, I'm going to succeed. But because you are where you are not supposed to be, you will not succeed. You will never succeed. They will not give you that chance to succeed at all. They will fight you from all angles. So while you are still alive and you still have your health, move out from that house. That's the only thing I can tell you, move out. But I know that when people want to move out, they find it difficult moving out due to the havoc that's blocking your avenue of getting money. Because for you to move out, you have to pay a rent somewhere else. But they will block that avenue that you cannot pay rent somewhere else. Now, what you need to do is to use these sacramentals that I just mentioned now, the incense, the holy water, the anointing oil, on a daily basis. It's not something you can use today and forget tomorrow. No, use it constantly. When it finishes, go and get another one. As you are using them, these sacramentals will clear the path for you so that you will get that money, because you must surely get the money. You must surely get the money. But it's going to put these demons away. It's going to shift them aside so that you get the money and leave. You must leave, if for nothing else, for your peace, so that you have peace, so that you will sleep with two eyes closed, not sleeping like a dog. When anything crosses, you open your eyes. No. So this is what I want to teach us today about haunted houses. For those who believe that there is nothing like spirits, you are just deceiving yourself. Pray you don't encounter them. Just pray you don't encounter spirits. I mean these demons. Pray you don't encounter them, because they are not good stories. They are never good stories. It's not just all about living in a haunted house. There are people that I will be handling their cases, and you see those demons tormenting them, coming to question me, who gave me the authority to release someone under their captivity. I have seen these demons countless times. Like I say, when they come, they don't come in form of human beings. They will come in that their ugly shape. A shapeless form. I don't know how to put it. Some they come like smoke, like cloud. Shapeless. But you will hear them talking to you. I have seen them countless times questioning me. Someone is under their captivity and I'm trying to release the person. And when it gets to that time, that is why I love battling with demons. Yes, no matter what they say, I know that the power I have in me is greater than them. As long as I didn't go into their territory. Yes, as long as I didn't go into their territory. The power in me is greater than them. No matter their threats, no matter their challenge, I will always win that battle. It is easier to win the battles with demons than with your fellow human beings. We are lower gods. I'm sure you are aware of this. The power that God gave us is way too stronger than any other power except the power of angels also. We are a little lower than the angels. So when you are fighting your fellow human being, is as good as you are fighting a god. And that fight will be so difficult. It will be so difficult. That is why I prefer fighting with demons. I always win. It is not by my might. It is not by my power. It's the grace of God. I always win. Okay, somebody said, what do you do after you leave the house and move to another? Let me tell you what you are going to do. On that very day that you will leave that house, this is what you are going to do. After removing all your luggages from the house, don't give the key yet to the landlord. After removing the luggages from the house, come back into that house with a bucket of water, your detergent, your mop stick, your broom, your dustpan. You are going to sweep out your footsteps, your family's footstep. You are going to sweep everything out from that house, pack them into that dustpan, pour it inside a polythene bag. And then you are going to mop the entire house. If it's a shop, you are going to clean the entire shop, mop it, clean it. And then that water, while you are leaving the house, you make a final declaration that no power whatsoever, wherever they are coming from, that as you are leaving this house, they will no longer trace you. They will no longer hold you. They will no longer have any grip over your finances, over your family, over anything that concerns you. And when you are leaving that house, please do not walk with your face facing the door. Do not go forward. I want you to turn your back. Use your back to come out from that house. I don't know if you understand what I mean. It's just like you are going out from your house now. Don't go out like that, opening the door and walking out. No. Turn your back, use your back, and come out from that house. It signifies that you have rejected everything concerning that house. Now, as you are leaving, that water which you use in mopping that house, you are going to pour that water away. When you pour it away, you equally make a final declaration. As for that sand, you are going to pour that sand away. Make the final declaration. This is so that they will not have traces to wherever you are going to. And they will not have any trace of you in that house. You have cleaned everything. You have swept everywhere. There is no sign of you in that house anymore. And then you move into your new house. That is all you need to do. After cleaning, after sweeping and mopping the house, use your back to come out from that house. Using your back means that you have rejected that house entirely. You will use your back to come out so that you will lock that door. Then when you turn to face, you are moving forward without looking backwards. You are moving forward without looking backwards. Don't use your face to come out and then you turn again to lock the door and then turn again to go. No, don't do that. Okay? So let's know how to safeguard our life, our families, our properties, because it's not easy. You keep on losing things every now and then. Keep on replacing them. Even if you are a very wealthy man or a very wealthy woman, it is still not good. Nobody progresses by when you make your money, you waste that money for you to make money again and waste it. Nobody progresses by doing so. So let's know how to handle these demons. And in all that you do, try to remain courageous. They will come with all kinds of fear. They will come in so many ways to make you to be so scared. And when you are so scared, that is when they will penetrate and harm you. No matter what you see, no matter what you see inside that shop, no matter what you feel, no matter what is happening, always have a positive affirmation that you must succeed, that you must progress, that you must make it in life, that you will come out alive, that you will win this battle. Keep on making these positive affirmations. They hate it. They hate positive affirmation because it's like a challenge unto them. But keep on doing it, all right? And make sure you leave that house. It is their house. It is their house. As long as you rented that place, it is not your place. It belongs to those demons there tormenting that place. So leave that house for them, moving into a new house, all right? So that you progress and make it in life. If you have any question to ask me, you go ahead and ask based on this teaching or based on any other issue that has to do with spirituality, okay? So I want you to check yourselves wherever you are living. Know how things are going in your life. If things are not moving well for you, the first question I ask people is to check your environment. If your environment is clean, then we now check people. I don't like pointing accusing fingers or first at people. I prefer pointing accusing fingers at the demon before we talk about fellow human beings. So if you have any question, you ask. I'm not going to waste time today because this is just a teaching. It's just to create awareness, to let us know. A lot of people are passing through this, but maybe you keep on pointing fingers at your neighbor, that your neighbor is the one doing this to you. Maybe because you quarreled with your neighbor, and then you see your neighbor as the one who is behind your inability to succeed in life. It may not be your neighbor. It may be the building you are living in, or someone who is having a shop. You are not progressing at all. You've remained in that shop for close to 5 years. You are still not progressing. Please move out of that shop. Move out of that shop. Because one thing with these people is those people that erected that structure, those people that built that house, which they built it using human blood, every progress that you are supposed to make will be going to them. For living in that house alone, whatever you are supposed to make in life is going to them spiritually because you are paying them rent. You are staying in that house together with all the evils that they conjured before the foundation of that building was laid. Once you are in that house, whatever you are supposed to make in life is going back to them spiritually. So please stop feeding the demons. Yes, that is what I call it. You are feeding the demons unknowingly. Stop feeding them. Move out. If they want to die of hunger, let them die of hunger. Move out. Move into a house that is clean spiritually, so that you will become whom God wants you to become, and you will attain that height that God has destined for you. If you have any question to ask me, please you ask. If you don't have, then I will have to close this live session. And I believe that the person who, that contributed towards me giving us this teaching tonight, I believe the person is here. Okay? Please, whatever you are experiencing, you don't have to experience that. You don't recognize a clean house. If you have a spiritual gift, the moment you walk into a house, you can tell if the house is clean or not, spiritually. Even if it's a new building, you can tell if the house is spiritually clean or not. Even if you can't tell, spending a night in that house will tell you if that house is spiritually clean or not. There are, if you like, you can bring in people who are spiritually gifted. Take them to the place where you want to live, okay? Let them go into that place. Let them move around into the rooms or into the corners of that building. Let them go around, and then they will tell you if it's spiritually clean. But mere looking at a building, at a structure, you cannot tell. You cannot tell. But that is why I said you need to see people who are spiritually gifted. Because if there is any human sacrifice that was done before the structure was laid, the moment you step your feet on that ground, that blood, you will know that a blood was shed. Okay, so I will advise you to bring in people. Bring in people, let them check for you. There are signs for you to know that the house is clean. I mentioned it. If you are spiritually gifted, for the layman, you may not see the sign. Yes, you may not see the sign. You will only see the sign as days goes by while living inside that house. But for someone who is spiritually gifted, if you walk into a house that is not clean, you will feel the presence of that demon. It will look as if the demon is standing at the door, wedging you, stopping you from coming in. You will feel that presence. You feel these goosebumps that you will know is not from God. You will feel cold, kind of. You will no longer want to move forward. That is the feelings you get whenever. It's just like there are some people that I will go to their houses and they will ask me to come in. If I come in, I'll find it difficult sitting down on the chair. Not because the chair is dirty, no. Because I will notice that I am not welcome spiritually. I am not welcome. What I will do is just to cover up and pretend and greet everybody and maybe go outside to wait for whom I am looking for. Okay, so these are the signs. If you are spiritually gifted, you will know the signs. But if you are not spiritually gifted, as you are living, you will start seeing those signs manifesting from your daily lifestyle in that house. But for you to stand and look at that house, it is only those who are spiritually gifted that can tell if a house is spiritually clean or not. Okay, so I will advise you, if you want to move into a house, call the prayer people. Call the prayer people. They can go into that house and pray with you. While the prayer is going on, for anybody who is spiritually gifted, they will tell you what they are seeing or the messages that they are getting. It is now left for you to know if you will continue or not. So if you have any other question, please you ask. Throw in your questions. If you have any question, write it down. If no questions are coming, then I'll end this live session. Let's stop feeding the demons, okay? Let's stop feeding them. Light and darkness has nothing in common. We are the children of light. They are the children of darkness. We don't have anything in common. Let's not, every now and then, we are always, how do I put it, tempting God to see if God will answer us. Every now and then, we are tempting God to see if God will answer us. I'm going to tell us this. One of my elder sisters moved into a house a long time ago, but I haven't visited her house as at that time. And then one day, I had this dream. And in that dream, my guardian angel came and told me to tell my sister to move out from that house. That house was built under the foundation of an innocent blood. So when I woke up, I was kind of shocked because I know that my sister have lived in that house for like 3 years. But I noticed that she's not progressing. She's just like stagnant. She's stagnant. She's not progressing. So I called my sister and told her, I said, see, this is what my guardian angel said, that the foundation of your house was laid under an innocent blood, that you should move out from that house. And my sister confirmed it and told me that when they went to pay the house rent, that they noticed what the landlord was doing. If they ask the landlord question, the landlord will knock on the ground, put his ears on the ground. After listening to the ground, the landlord will now get up and told them that the spirit said. And I asked her, and you saw all these things and you still went ahead and paid for that rent? And she told me that they were in a haste, that they were eager to move in. And then they moved in. And all doors just shut for her. All doors shut. So there are signs. There are so many signs. Some of us might even see that sign on the first day and they will cover up. They'll pretend that nothing is happening. And some will not. You will only experience it as time goes on. Is it only when blood is involved that a house is haunted? Yes. Human blood, not the blood of animals. Human blood. That is when such things are involved. Whenever a house is haunted, a human blood was shed. Yes, either that the human blood was shed to make the money to raise the structure, or that the blood was shed and the foundation was laid there. Because I know of a church that has been demolished. That is what people call it, a church. I call such places shrine. It has been demolished, but the reason for the demolition was that people discovered human skulls underneath the church. And then they started digging out and discovered that a lot of people were buried. And it is not a burial ground. And that was the reason why that church was demolished. So for a house to be haunted, life must have been wasted there. Yes. And these are the ones that will so deal with you when you are living there. They are the ones that will so deal with you. A lot of landlords will just go into ritual that's what people normally say, that their destiny are being taken. That is what so many people do. They'll go into rituals to take that good luck that you are supposed to get. They will take it. It will come to them because you are living in their house. So if you're experiencing such things, just leave that house for them. Leave the house for them. There is no point staying there to fight. You keep on fighting and your doors are being shut every now and then. Today you will eat. Tomorrow you will not eat. Today you will get 100,000 naira. Tomorrow you will get 5 naira. Just leave that house. Apart from vacating the house, is there anything one can do to prosper while still living? Prosperity will be so far away from you. So far away from you. You can be feeding from hand to mouth, and it's not prosperity. You will be feeding from hand to mouth. Today, you see the food that you will eat today. Tomorrow, you will see the food that you will eat tomorrow. But you cannot buy a car. You can't even buy a bicycle. You can't buy a car. You can't even build just one bedroom. You can't do that. You can't even render help to anybody. You can't. You will just be managing yourself alone. You'll be managing yourself. That is not life. What I call such things are that those people are existing. They are not living. And you don't have to exist. You have to live. You have to live. Okay? So leave that house so that you'll experience prosperity. In the house which I told us where I and my family were living, as at today, as I'm talking to you people now, all the tenants living in that building are still living there. All the tenants. This thing is since 2007. And all the tenants are still living there up till now. All of them. And none of them, nobody in any of those flats are progressing. Nobody at all. None of them is progressing. The first people that moved out of that house when we moved in, they were thrown away because they couldn't even pay the house rent anymore. They weren't even eating, not to talk of paying the house rent. And so the landlady had to throw them away. She threw them out. But 1 year after she threw them out, these people turned into a millionaire. And, I couldn't tell how it happened. I didn't know that they left that haunted house and their doors of progress just opened. They built a house of their own, moved in, opened up so many, businesses, and they were doing wonderfully well. And then it got to our own. And I begged God to throw us out, just like the landlady threw those people out. I begged God to throw us out, and God did that, because it got to a point that we couldn't eat any longer. We can't feed. Even to pay the children's school fees was so difficult. We sold all our cars and we were just managing one. And when we moved out, what happened? That door of progress just opened. It opened. But for the rest of the tenants who were still there up till now, the kind of poverty ravaging that building is unspeakable. Everybody in that building is still suffering. Everybody in that compound is still suffering. So the best thing is to leave. Okay? What if the house is your ancestral home? If the house is your ancestral home, that means what you are facing is an intergenerational problem. You are facing, if it's in Igbo language, we call it ihe ọdịnala. You are facing a problem that's a spiritual problem from your ancestors. That means there is something that your ancestors did in the past, which is still moving from generation to another. And that is why you people are experiencing what you are experiencing in your ancestral home. Whoever is experiencing all these things that I just mentioned in your ancestral home, I want you to trace back. Go back to village, ask questions. There are people who know about those who lived way before your parents. Ask them questions. They will tell you the history of your lineage. And from there, you will discover what actually happened. If you are experiencing everything that I've just mentioned now, or some of those things, meanwhile, you are living in your ancestral home, ask questions. So many people are still aware of what happened in the past. Our generation may not know it, but when you go to the village and ask, there are people there who will tell you. So when you are experiencing such things, it is coming from your ancestors. They must have done something that is not good. And it is always a bloodshed. It is always a bloodshed. I know of a friend who, in their village in Imo State, I've forgotten the name of the village. Nobody progresses as long as you're a young man. Nobody progresses. And when you progress outside and then you want to bring in that progress into the village by building a house or raising up a structure or something, you will die untimely. That is what they have been experiencing. And all the young men ran away from that village. All of them. On the day we went to their village for a ceremony, he invited us, we went there. You will not see wonderful structures. What you will see are just like, thatch houses, you will even be wondering if you are in a modern era. It looks like we were, taken aback, like years back. The kind of structures we saw were not impressive at all. And then he told us, what they've been experiencing. And then the young guys decided to come together to ask questions. And in asking questions, they discovered that a young guy was killed years ago, many years ago. And before the guy died, he made a proclamation that there will not be any young guy that will rise up in that community. And so the option was for them to find someone powerful, either a native doctor, a spiritualist, or whoever, to go to that exact spot where the guy was killed and appease the soul of that guy. And so they agreed to find a native doctor. The native doctor went there, appeased the soul. And after that, they all went to church for Thanksgiving. And if you come to their village now, because we later went back to their village again for another ceremony, you need to see the structures there. You will know that the young guys are now progressing. Okay, so if you are experiencing all these things in your ancestral home, know that something evil was done years ago by your ancestors. And so you need to trace the root of that thing. You solve the problem from the roots so that you'll be free. Since this one is your ancestral home, you have no other place to go. You can't run away from there. More especially if you're a man. You can't run away from there. So you have to trace the root and solve the problem. So if you have any other question, you go ahead and ask. Because I'm going to end this live session very soon. Ask your questions. But whereby no question is coming, all I'll have to do is to give us the final advice. Try and get incense, anointing oil, holy water. Use them on a daily basis if you are living in a house that you are not sure of. If you notice strange things happening in your house every now and then, get these sacramentals so that they will wage war against all these demons and make way for you, so that for you to get money to move out. Because my final advice is that you should move out. Move out. The house is not yours. Move into somewhere that is spiritually clean, so that when you sleep, you have your peace of mind. If it's your marital home, what do? You are being married into the home, and you notice all these things. Then you involve the owners of the home, your husband brothers. You involve them, you let them know. If it's possible for you to lead them, you lead. If you are the one that notice all these things and you are a wife in that home, contact your husband. If your husband is not around, contact the brother, contact the family. Let them know so that they will go into asking questions, because you are not the one that will go into asking that question, so that it doesn't look like you are calling them names or you are trying to say that their house is not clean. Let them go and ask the question. Let them go and verify. Let them go and sort out what to do. Let them go and sort out what to do, okay? As a wife, you have a limited, what do I call it? That's everything you do has a limit. If you are a daughter in that family, fine, you can go to any length to solve the problem. But since you are a wife, you are limited to certain things. So involve the owners of that house, your husband, the brothers, your father-in-law, your mother-in-law. If they are still around, involve them. Let them know what you are experiencing, in case if they are not experiencing it. But it's not possible for them not to be experiencing it. The only thing is that some families will be experiencing it and they will keep their mouth shut, so that the wives will not know, so that you don't see them as that something bad is happening in their home, okay? So any other question before I close this live session? What if they hate you? If they hate you, now what you need to do is to carve out yourself. Carve yourself out together with your children. Spiritually, what I mean by carving yourself out is not you denouncing the family. No. It's not you divorcing your husband. No. It's not you running away from that house. No. It's a spiritual exercise. But it can be performed on you by a spiritualist. It's not what you can do by yourself. I know native doctors do it. You carve yourself and your children out from that family spiritually, so that in the spiritual realm, when any spirit or any demon or whatever comes to check on that family, they will not find you, they will not find your children, but they will see other members of the family. So you need to carve yourself out spiritually. Find a spiritualist or anybody who is too powerful, if you really want to do this, and ask them to carve you out and carve your children out, so that whatsoever, any calamity that will befall every other member of the family will not touch you, will not touch your children. That is what you do. But physically, you are still a member of that family. Yes, you travel to the village, you go with them, you do whatever, any celebration, you participate. But spiritually, you are no longer a member. So you need to carve yourself out. That is if they hate you, okay? This thing I just said now is for that family that hates you and they won't want you to contribute, in suggesting on how to solve the problem. If you notice that they hate you, they don't want you to contribute, carve yourself out. Let them sort themselves out. Let them sort themselves out and sort out their families. Let them solve that problem. Spiritually, you will no longer be a member of that family, but physically, you are still a member. So if there's any other question, please you ask. What kind of incense should we use to clean the house? There are so many types of incense, but you have to be very, very prayerful to avoid using those incense that can raise demons up. I've heard about such incense. I don't know about them, but I know that there are incense that you will light and it will raise demons up. So I will want you to go, like I said, I am a Catholic. There is this one that we use in church. It comes in stick form, in wooden form, and it comes in like seeds that looks like stones. These are the ones that Catholic use, and that is the one I use. And if you want to use this long stick incense, there is one that is long. You ask questions. They have different names. They have St. Michael's incense. They have so many of them. You ask questions. Ask questions before you buy incense, so that you don't buy those ones that will wake up the demons. Okay. I did that. I cut ties spiritually. That's the best thing. That is the best thing. You cut ties spiritually with that family. If the family doesn't want you, you separate yourself, separate your children, carve yourself out. Once you carve yourself out, whatever that is happening there will not touch you. Even if a spirit of untimely death decides to visit that family, if every building is experiencing it, you will not experience it. Your children will not experience it. You will not cry. So if you notice that they don't like you, then carve yourself out. You don't have to struggle to make people like you. You don't have to force yourself on people. If you are nice and you are doing what you're supposed to do as a wife and they don't like you, carve yourself out spiritually. All right? So if you have any other question, you ask. Okay? Where I'm living, the house is mine. And when the contractor come, they don't take the work. Something wrong. I don't understand. When the contractor come, they don't take the work. I don't understand this question. Which work are they not taking? I don't understand your question, please. Cherry, can you rephrase this question? Rewrite it, please. Let me understand what you're saying. You said that when the contractor come, they don't take the work. I don't understand. Where you are living is your house, and when the contractor comes, they don't take the work. I don't understand it. If you have any other question, please you go ahead and ask, because I'm going to end this live stream very soon. I don't intend to stay more than an hour, but I've stayed more than an hour. Any other question? Or do I go ahead and end the live stream? Yeah, that's what I will do. Okay, you are building. And where you are, okay, the house is yours. You are building your own house. You bought the land and you are building the house. So how is the land? Is it your father's land, or is it a land that you bought by yourself? How is that land? Who sold the land to you? I want to know. Who sold the land to you? Is it a land that your father gave you, or a land that your brother gave you, or a land you bought by yourself? Who sold that land to you? Cutting ties, can church do it or? Chiedu, you know that cutting ties, church will not accept it. Church will not allow you to cut ties with that family. They will want you to keep on doing what you are supposed to do as a wife. Keep on seeing how you can help the family. Church will never accept that you cut ties with them. But cutting ties, like I said, it all depends on you. Check yourself. Are you okay with what you are passing through? Is it okay by you? Is it something you can overlook? If it's something you can overlook, there's no point cutting ties with them. But if it's something you cannot overlook, and then you cut ties. If you feel that despite the hatred they have for you, that you can still contribute, make suggestions in that family, you can still say something, or you can still go ahead and do something, then you go ahead and do it. But if you know that you don't have that say, and you don't like the treatment, if it's me, I will cut ties. Yes, I don't believe in pleasing my fellow human being to displease myself. All I will do is I will do everything humanly possible to make you happy. But whereby you don't want that happiness, I will cut. I will stay off, far away from you. That is what I'll do. Spiritually and physically, I'll stay away from you. So church will never accept that you cut ties with them. Church will never. I have seen, this is just like domestic violence. I have seen a girl who got married for 12 good years. She had no issue. For 12 years of her marriage, no child. And she was living with the husband, and every now and then they are quarreling, they are fighting. When the husband beats her, she will come out, and church will tell her to go back. The Lord will do it. Go back. He's your husband. Remember, for better, for worse. She went back, and it kept on happening. Right now, the girl is in the grave. She must have decayed a long time ago. Yes, the husband killed her. And the church were not there to save her. The church didn't help her. The priest that was telling her to go back, he's your husband, pray, God will hear you. The priest was nowhere now to save the girl when the girl was dying. But if the girl had left, she would be alive by now. She would be alive. But she obeyed church, and she remained in that marriage. And that was the end of her life. And the husband now is married with 4 children. He's married with 4 children. So if you expect that church will support you in certain things, well, you are wasting your time. Church doesn't support certain things at all. They will want you to keep on praying. Keep on praying. God will do it for you. If you have that faith that you will conquer at the end, go ahead and do what church says that you do. But if you feel that your life is at stake, then you know what to do. Okay, Cherry, you said it's a new, that's what I'm saying. It's a new house that you are building. I want to know about the land. How did you get the land? Who sold the land to you? The land where you are building that house. Who sold that land to you? Because I know of a land. It's not because of your own. I know of a land close to my father's house. Till date, no contractor agrees to work on that land. Why? That land was at loggerheads between 2 families. And then, before you know it, death came in. Maybe one of them went to conjure evil or whatever, and the spirit of death came in and wiped out every member of that family from A to Z. Everybody died, and that land is still there. And then a distant relation decided to take the land to start building. The person didn't finish the building. For every contractor the person will contract, once they come to the land to start building, the next thing they will do is to go. They will leave. They will no longer come. That is why I'm asking you, how did you get that land? How did you get the land? Okay, I want to know who sold the land to you. Is it a family land that was given to you, or is it a land you bought by yourself and you started building? Who sold the land to you? We have to start that question from the person that sold that land to you. Let's know if that land is spiritually clean, because nothing will chase contractors away except your fee, your agreement fee with them is not telling. Maybe they didn't agree to what you say concerning the fee. But if they agree to what you say concerning the fee, I see no reason why they will not want to work on that land, except when it has to do with spiritual issue. Okay? So if you have any other question, you ask. Okay, you said the minister of house of what? The minister of housing of Guyana. Is it a politician or a minister of God? I will want you to investigate about that land. Ask questions about that land if possible. Since you know the person that sold the land to you, the person will not tell you everything you want to know concerning that land. So if there is any other person that knows about that land, find that person. Ask questions about the land. The only thing that can stop the workers, the contractors, is if they do not agree with the fee that you guys the fee you are giving them. That is the workmanship. If it's not okay with them, they might not want to take that job. But if it's okay with them, I don't see the reason why they should not take the job. So ask questions about the land. Asking the minister, he might not tell you everything about the land. Find someone who is closer to that minister, someone who knows about the land, and ask questions spiritually this time around. Investigate spiritually concerning that land. There is something you need to know about that land. It is not about the building itself now. It is about the land. Okay? And then make sure that whatever fee you have in agreement with the contractors is what it's supposed to be. Let it not be that it is because of the fee that they are not taking up the job. Any other question? Please, if you have any other question, people, you can ask. If you don't have any question, then I will have to close this live session. Okay, so I want to thank all of you. Everybody that joined us tonight, I want to thank you all. For those who liked the video, may God bless you all. For those who ask questions, I pray that the Holy Spirit of God will give you the answers. That secret answer that you want to know. I pray that the Holy Spirit of God will visit you and give you that answer. Whatever is hidden in the dark is just a matter of time, and the light will show it and everybody will see it. And I pray that God will shine that light into your lives and into your homes and into everything that concerns you, so that every hidden thing will be laid open. And I pray that you succeed in whatever you do in life, as long as it is in line with what God wants. Thank you all, and may God bless you. So I'm going to end this live stream now. I'm going to see us next time. I don't know when. It might be on a Sunday night. It might be on a Monday night. But whichever one, it is going to be either Sunday or Monday. But until then, have a lovely night, and God bless you all.